Hello, we're in Malta doing more pictures, and we have a pair of hunting scenes to get today, and you have to put these hunting scenes in with all the other horrible pictures of hunting, whether it's fishing salmon or stalkers killing and shooting red deer in England. You've got hunting in England, you've got hunting in nature. So you have all these grotesque, gratuitously violent, gory, unpleasant subjects showing hunting, showing natural history. They're not realistic depictions of natural history. You don't get a lion necessarily in an alpine setting. You don't necessarily get a big snake like that where the eagles are in the mountains. Not necessarily. As a snail, I've looked up the snail. I have lots of books about art. I don't know what on earth the snail is doing there. I really don't know. It has no significance. The serpent, the snake, traditionally represents evil, and the devil, I don't know whether it's there for that reason or whether it's there just to show a picture of a hissing snake. So they're quite imposing, scary pictures. And when I was a child, if you went into a stately home, the people would say the children won't like looking at those pictures. They're not very nice things for a child to look at. So its use is limited, and due to the gore, the market is limited. But if I ask you, when was the last time you saw a pair of hunting pictures like this, Italian ones, early 18th century ones, I think that you probably would be scratching your head. I mean, I haven't seen a pair of these for sale, nice ones, I can't remember the last time. I mean, if you want to buy them, you can go to London and you'll find shops who've got 5 or 6 sets of them. If you go to the big sales in London, you'll find them. You'll find them in France, you'll find them in America, many of them are in America. But they're so expensive. And they've often been restored and reframed and augmented and finished to a tip-top condition. And they will have gone through a dealer or a succession of dealers, a succession of restorers, and every time it changes hands, of course, it gets more and more money. These have come from Malta. They're probably painted in Italy. Malta is very close to Italy. It might be painted in Sicily, very possibly it's very possibly Eastern French, very possibly German. There's an eagle, or around that area. But these are Italian school. They're not Victorian English ones painting, as I say, painting the salmon or painting the deer. They're really, really unusual. They're a classical scene, and if you go around England and look at stately homes, nearly all of them have got, if not the English versions of hunting, they've got these classical hunting, naturalistic pictures. The lion is not painted realistically. In the 18th century, there was not a lot of subject. Of course, there were Venetian lions and things, but you will find in early painting, camels are painted incorrectly, giraffes are painted incorrectly. And it's that, and it's an endearing quality. It is an accepted thing that in early depictions of exotic animals they're wrong. It's just the way it is. So that is a sort of Renaissance-ish backdrop. You have a castle, a whimsical castle, looks Italian. That is possibly acanthus there. I don't know. Possibly acanthus. I don't know the symbolism. There is a fairly craggy, snow-capped, alpine-looking mountain in this picture. Again, a plain, similar sort of Renaissance foreground to that side. These are what I call old clouds. They're big, billowy, puffy clouds, and it's the same up here, the way they're painted. It's a nice cloud. And in this case, what's happened is the frames are probably the original frames, 1750 perhaps, possibly later frames, possibly, but they certainly have much age to them. The sides are ochre. The sides are not gilded. This is a really nice thing to find. Nearly all of these frames in this era were not gilded on the side. They were gilded on the front only. And the ochre paint is a gold-looking matte brown. That is vanishing. The market doesn't want that. The market is saying to the people restoring them, do the whole thing in gold. So the restorers will do the front, they'll do the sides. That is incorrect. And I very much like to see ochre on the sides, and I think that you can pick an ochre out to make it noticeable if you're that way inclined, or you can pick an ochre which does mimic the gold. I like seeing ochre non-gilded sides where they should be. The wood is, on this occasion, has a slight wiping of gesso, but on many occasions the wood is often just raw wood sanded down. So these are old frames, they're moulded. This has got gesso on the front and a real gold leaf, but it's got a horrible modern varnish on top. Someone's put a Ronseal effect polyurethane dark stain on it to make the gold dull down. So what someone's trying to do is they try to age the gold. I don't know why they've done that, because these frames should be very, very highly burnished, dazzlingly bright, and the appearance of the frame is disappointing. But they're very easy to regild because they're flat, and the amount of burnishing is much reduced if they are flat. So, let's look at the backs of the pictures. Ochre, as I said, slight bevel is often the case. Pitch pine, not native to Malta, probably from Sicily or Italy, I don't know. Pine, acanthus. That canvas is painted around the bend, and my feeling is, I haven't looked at this before, my feeling is this was a larger picture originally and has been put onto another stretcher. So what I think's happened is I think you have quite an early 18th century picture which was a little bit bigger. I think that around 1830 or 40 or 50 or 60 it has been taken off the old stretcher. I mean, the atmospheric conditions of Malta are prone to decay for pictures. Depends on where you hang it. There is rot, there is pest damage, there is humidity, there is sun damage, there is temperature change, which in itself can crack pictures up. So if you have an unfortunately placed picture in Malta, it will be wrecked quite soon. If you have a picture in a stable environment in Malta, it will hang for hundreds of years without changing. So I think what we had here is a picture that has had a journey. I think, as I say, it's been reduced very slightly, put onto another stretcher. I think it's only one canvas, not been relined, I don't think. I can't see two canvases, I can only see the one. And then they have made this Victorian, early Victorian style simple frame. So I hope that tells you what's happened. I'm only suggesting that's what's happened, I'm not sure. But I don't think to see paint going around the corner like that is a sign of an original edge of a canvas and stretcher. This one here, let's look at this, see if you can see what's happened. It's the same, it's painted around the corner, not quite so far as the other one. There's no excess canvas. There is evidence of holes without nails, which might suggest it's been also restructured. I don't think it's been realigned. It obviously has basic repairs. This is glue and fabric. Again, pitch pine, chamfered corner, ochre. It's old. There's not a lot to report. These better hanging hooks, so it hangs safely. So there are hunting scenes, animal on animal. It's not human on animal. There is not excessive gore. There is gore, but it is not excessively gratuitous. I have seen some disgusting hunting scenes showing outrageously, excessively gratuitous gore, which are revolting. Thankfully, these are not one of those. You actually sometimes see, in Christian art, you see some really quite gratuitously grotesque depictions. There's I can't think of the saint, which is bad. There was a saint who was flayed, who was skinned alive, and you will find in Malta, you will find pictures of this person holding the skin. He was made to hold his own skin. You will find bronzes. You know, some of the imagery is extremely hardcore and quite depressing. Obviously has a significant historical meaning. There is I think it was St. Anthony or St Thomas, I can't remember, the one who was put on a gridiron. You sometimes see in Malta statues of a saint holding a gridiron, which is a piece of slatted iron, you know, where he was put on a fire. You know, so there's some really horrible things out there. Okay, sorry to digress. So back to the pictures, not huge, but they are in the market. I will say they're quite a big pair of pictures. They're early, they're old, they're striking, they're colourful. For an old picture in good condition, they would brighten if they were restored, except to quite a surprising degree. There are some vivid blues and greens in there. I say to people, don't restore them. I say to people, buy another pair of pictures off me, have 2 sets of pictures unrestored instead of one set of pictures restored, which you have to send away, and you get it back in a year. If you're a dealer and you restore pictures, they have to dry, and you need a year for it to dry. If you're shipping it, you don't want a packet where a recently restored picture will stick to the bubble wrap. You know, there are other issues associated with restoration as well. You'll find a freshly restored picture has a gummy, glossy, shiny look, which is unappealing, and once they dry, they tend to cure, shrink back slightly, and become more pleasing to the eye. So there's lots of dimensions. I think that they are good value, very, very good value. I really don't know the next time I will be able to buy a pair at a reasonable price. As I alluded to, you can go and get them if you want them. You can go to London, and you can go to the dealers and say, I want a pair of these pictures, and they'll find you several sets to pick between. You can go to the sale rooms, there will be several sets, but you'll be paying far more money than I'm selling these for. Thanks very much for listening.